Okay, before I start the video, I just want to say I am going to make some Batman v Superman jokes in here. Just a couple. You know, I'm not going to make too many. And pull this camera out. Yeah, so I'm just going to say this. I apologize. You know, if you like Batman v Superman, that's fine. You know this was inevitable. Okay, so I'm going to make a few jokes towards that movie, but let this be said before I start this video, okay? I do know that whereas Marvel had years of development and multiple movies to get to this point to where Civil War can have all these characters with backstories that we already know, who have been fleshed out, characters that we like, we understand, who have been played by these actors for a while, and can actually work. Whereas Batman v Superman can't necessarily get it right with their own iconic characters as well as their cameo appearances. Okay, I know that BVS was only one movie, okay? And they try to fit all this stuff in. But that's the point. The fact that they try to fit all this stuff in one movie instead of taking their time. Now, if you disagree with that, that is okay. But the evidence is already there. One movie, we had to sit through 3 Iron Man movies, 2 Captain Americas, 2 Thors, 2 Avengers, and then we got the Civil War. There's a big difference there, okay? Just saying. Enjoy the review. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. I was just sitting here pondering how is it possible that Marvel can make a movie like Captain America Civil War and have like 8 main characters and bring in new characters which have full backstories that are really fleshed out and they're just cameos. You know, doing cameos right. And then we have Batman v Superman on the other side of the aisle that can't even handle their 2 most iconic characters whose backstories we've already know. Okay, I promise that's going to be the last B versus S joke I'm going to make this entire review. Actually, I'm going to make it for the rest of the year. This is the last one. At least until Suicide Squad comes out. Okay, hey everyone, it's SoranotRoxas here, and you know, I apologize for that little mark I made at the beginning, but how can I not make it? Oh my god. Captain America Civil War. I woke up early. I went early. It is 11:15 a.m. here. It's 11:15 a.m., right? And the theater was packed on a Tuesday. Unbelievable. This was possibly one of the best Marvel movies ever made. Just hands down ever made. It's next to Deadpool, this is definitely my favorite Marvel movie. This might be my favorite, man. Just the only reason I will put this above Deadpool is only because that Deadpool had that sort of lowbrow sense of humor about itself, which I said that I like before when I was doing the review for it. But after a while, it sort of starts to get a little, you know, annoying. Like, I can't take too many sex jokes, honestly. They're not really my cup of tea that much. So when you have someone like Deadpool who's constantly making jokes like that, it kind of gets a little dried out. But overall, I love the movie. I thought it was fantastic. It's exactly what people wanted in Deadpool. It's exactly what I wanted in Deadpool. Now, going to something like the Avengers, which also handled multiple characters like Civil War did, it didn't handle as many, or in my terms, it wasn't as fleshed out. Like, with the other Avenger movies, it seemed to focus more on Tony Stark and, like, his story. It was more like Tony Stark in the Avengers sort of thing. With me, that's how I felt. So then Civil War comes along, this movie comes along, and it says, you know what, we're going to have all these characters, and we're going to introduce a new Spider-Man who's finally done right, who's very funny, and just so well choreographed. Just his stunts are really well done. And Black Panther, who's played by Chadwick Boseman. Can we give a hand to Chadwick Boseman and Tom Holland for both Black Panther and Spider-Man? They have made an incredible statement here playing these characters. These are the first time I am seeing this version of Spider-Man on the big screen, a really funny, likable version of Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, to me, I also thought did really well. But if Tom Holland has to be the substitute, I'm fine with that. And then we have, on the other side of the aisle, we have Black Panther, who this is his first movie. This is the first time him being a live-action film, who's somewhat of a known Marvel hero. So I mean, Ant-Man wasn't really all that known either. When people heard the word Ant-Man, they thought, oh god, you know, this is gonna be crap. Ant-Man, seriously? Well, we thought that with Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was a very fantastic movie, and that one's in my top 5, so... this one might be my #1 favorite Marvel movie. As of right now, just the fact that they're able to handle all these characters and such a coherent story, and they're actually able to do kind of the same thing that I saw some other superhero movies try to do, and Batman v Superman try to do this as well, where they had this idea, which they did go too far with, like, should superheroes be regulated? Should they be watched? Should they be under supervision? And you know what? That is a great question to propose, and that's what Tony Stark was proposing, as far as, like, you know, we need to be in check, we need to be, you know, secure. What you see in the trailer, and Captain America's on the other side of the aisle. He's like, no, that's basically us giving up our freedoms as heroes. In some way, we technically are vigilantes, but you know, we're heroes. We're here to help people, and there are going to be some casualties along the way. That's what happens when you're fighting supervillains. It's going to be casualties along the way. So when there are casualties, you can't just up and just, you know, just give up on life. Tony Stark comes back and saying, you know, this isn't giving up, this is just making it safer. You understand both sides, you really do. And I hope you guys can see my face here. Can you see my face? Yeah, okay. I apologize about my hair, it's actually making me look even darker than what I am. So, wait, where was I? Yeah, you can see it from both sides. They're both giving 100%. I agree with both of their arguments. And a lot of people are saying, you know, what are you, Team Captain America, or are you Team Iron Man? And although I can understand both sides of the aisle, I'm going to just have to pick Iron Man, mostly because Spider-Man is on that side. Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel hero, man. Wherever Spidey goes, I go there. You know, that's fine. Tom Holland, man, I wish I could meet you just so I can shake your hand just for doing a great Spider-Man. You know, thumbs up to you, man. That was fantastic. Okay, so I can't say too much about this film without going into spoilers, which just makes me say, like, why are you even watching this review? Okay, you should be at a movie theater watching this movie for the first time, or the second time, or the goddamn third time. I mean, this was what I wanted. This is what I wanted in the Avengers, and I finally got it. And I am so glad I lived to this day. I am only 25 years old, but in life you can die at any time. You can die being hit by a bus, and I shouldn't say that, considering that I take the city bus to work. But you know, it's a sad thing. You know, our world can be very negative sometimes. So it's nice to have something that comes along, a fantasy like this, and just fills your childhood dreams, man. Spider-Man has always been my childhood hero. You seeing him up on the big screen like this, and seeing him done right, finally done right. You know, I like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he was okay. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man I really enjoyed a little bit more. I didn't like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I'm glad we got that little thing about Spider-Man will return in the next film, and I don't know when he's going to return, but I am welcome for him to come back. And I could go on and on about the newly added characters. Like I said, Ant-Man was also thrown in here, and if you've seen the Ant-Man movie, which I finally got a chance to see not too long ago, and I think I talked about that. Did I put that on my honorable mentions list? I remember enjoying the film a lot, and I think I like his character even more here, even though he got less screen time. So there are multiple plots going on here. It's actually about 3, even though all these characters are being thrown into this movie, and there's so much coming at you, but it's coherent. There's a coherent storyline going on. It's written like, hey, you know what, these are 3-dimensional characters. They're not paper cutouts of what we was trying to do in the comic books, but make them even less bland. No, you know, we're gonna put all our effort into the writing, into these characters, and make these heroes human. This was also something else that Watchmen, the movie The Watchmen, tried to jump on, which I didn't like, but because I think it went a little bit too realistic. I still think it's a fantasy, it should remain in the fantasy realm, but the idea of having these characters feel so real to the point where they're actually thinking about their actions, like people did die during you know, Age of Ultron and things like that in the first Avengers movie. and the Winter Soldier, who has also taken people's lives. So it's a debatable thing. It really is debatable, but at the same time, like I said, you kind of agree with both sides. You see where they're both coming from. You know, I just follow Spider-Man, you know, and I'm gonna start following Black Panther because my God, was he awesome in this film. He was amazing. I was like, what the fuck is Batman doing here? This is like, yeah, it was like Ben Affleck left BVS. Okay, that's no more Batman v Superman references. Can we just have Marvel buy DC and just make the movie now? You know, have Disney buy out DC and just make the movies. Okay, I swear that is the last one. I need to stop swearing. I'm gonna try to make that the last one. So we have the idea of whether superheroes should be regulated. We also have another plot of a somewhat kind of second-rate villain. The villain in this film wasn't really the main priority. The majority of the film was definitely about the Civil War that was going on. And when it got to that fight scene, holy hell, was that the funniest, most well-choreographed fight scene for a Marvel movie I've seen in ever. That was absolutely amazing. Okay. I can talk about the CGI and all this stuff and how much I like it. Let me talk about just one thing that I particularly didn't like, and I think there was some unnecessarily CG in this movie. I think there was like these smoke grenades that looked kind of fake. There was a time when they was doing like a chase scene with the car. It looked kind of fake. I think that is like the only cons. I can't really find anything I don't particularly like about the film, but I can find way too many things that I do like. We finally got the answer for what happened to Tony Stark's father. You know, like I said, I'm not into the comic books too much. I know about the Civil War comic book. I did read half of it before I was told the rest of it. I kind of got bored with it halfway. It was pretty engaging, but it's just, you know, comic books, yeah, I don't read them anymore, so they're not interesting to me. I'm more of a movies guy. So when I go to the movies and I see that they made changes from the comic books, I'm like, okay, this is fine. This is what I said with Batman v Superman. If you're going to make changes, you have to make changes that make sense and that go together and that works with an overall plot of the story, and that's exactly what they did here. So yeah, we finally got the answer to what happened to Tony's parents. I'm not going to go into that as a big part of the movie. I'm just going to leave it at that because I want to put no spoilers in here. The other thing that kind of got people in the theater, and I think this is one of the only things that got people, was the actress who played Aunt May for and Spider-Man's part of the movie, when Tony Stark, you know, Iron Man himself comes to visit Spider-Man and introduces himself, which is a great scene. Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland did really good in that. That was very funny. It was her age, and I guess she looked too young, even though I think the actress is about 50, which isn't old. Which isn't old at all, especially compared to how Aunt May is supposed to be. But within the previous Spider-Mans, you know, it made sense. But I mean, Sally Field didn't really look that old in the Amazing Spider-Man either. So I don't see much of the problem. And also considering that she's supposed to be the sister, that's his aunt, you know, that's the sister of his mother, the mother who for some reason always looks like she's like 20 years younger than Aunt May. I don't know why is that. So it's no surprise. It's no surprise that the age gap, you know, isn't that far apart. Peter was like, what, 16 he's supposed to be in Civil War, I think. Is he 16? He's in high school, right? He's like in sophomore or something. I think he's like 16 or 17 in the movie, but whatever. Some people said 19. I think he's 16 in here. So, you know, we got a young Aunt May. That's fine. It didn't bother me. It bothers some people, so I just wanted to throw that out. There is a lot to talk about this film, but it's so much to do where I would have to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. So, guys, if you just go and see this movie, then you'll know exactly why I can't spoil it. And most likely you've already seen it because it's getting great reviews and people are loving it and they wouldn't shut up about it, which is why I had to go see it so soon. I was not planning on seeing it this week at all, actually. But actually I was planning on going to see it towards the end of the week, but due to my work schedule, I was like, you know, I'll just go Tuesday, and I'm kind of broke right now, so I gotta wait till next payday period. So I just decided to go, and I had a really good time. This was worth every penny. I would be so happy to go and see this film again. It's going to be a long time before this comes out on DVD and I can watch it again. God, I want to see it now. I want to see it again. Oh, okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. It's so funny. This review, how long was this? Oh, man. Oh, no, this was about as long as my Zootopia review, which was another film that I particularly liked this year. So, have I found a favorite film of this year yet? Not yet. We're gonna wait till, you know, Suicide Squad comes out. Then we got Star Wars Rogue One coming out later on this year. Those are the two other films I'm looking forward to. So, you know, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. And then I'll make my list, of course, that I do every year of movies that I liked and movies that I didn't like. So, for right now, this is definitely in the running for the top 3 movies I've seen this year. Okay, guys, thank you dudes for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you did not, please leave a dislike. That's it. And Spidey out. God. This movie was fantastic. See ya.